Hey guys, it's Kate here. Welcome back to another video. I have officially gotten sat down for the wrap up of the month of August. This month was a little wonky. I would say kind of busy. Everybody got sick and school started. Really busy month. All that good stuff, right? I did need a palette cleanser at one point, so let's get into all of that. My first book is going to be Honeysuckle by Barford Mintel. So here we have Rory, who is a little brother, and he wants somebody to play with. His sister is just not around as often to play with him because, well, she's older than him, right? Well, his sister ends up making him a friend. The only thing is that this friend that she makes for him is made out of flowers, which means she's going to die. We see as the seasons go by, changes start happening to her because she has to be remade every season with, plants for that season. But what really caught me was the fact that love is just really not love. When it comes to this, it seems it's more like possession and somebody just taking advantage of you and molding you for them, for their likes. But at the end of the day, it's still feeling like they're the victim. They're watching as Day, who is the friend made for Rory, literally fits into this category because she was made for him, specifically for him, and he tweaks things for himself and makes it seem like there are things that she wants. And it's, when you read it, you're rolling your eyes and you're getting mad and you're like, come on, Day. The thing is, Day doesn't really know any better. The twist, loved it. Honestly, I really enjoyed it and I will be rereading it. And I think everybody should read it. If you like Tea Kingfisher, give it a try. This definitely goes down that alley and it has like the botanical feeling, the gothic vibe to it that Tea Kingfisher's books have. So I think that those who like that type of vibe will enjoy this one. And so this next one was actually my advent calendar for the month of August, which when I picked this one out, I found out that you can read it as a standalone, but there's actually books that come before this one and after. And that would be Thomas Harris's The Silence of the Lambs. This was my advent calendar book. I mentioned before that I was like, I want to pick this book up, but I really forgot that I owned it because they were in the advent calendar. So, like I said before, I really don't know what book is wrapped up because I wrap at the end of the year and then that's it. I don't know what's in there until I go ahead and read it. As I picked it up, did some more investigating, found out that Red Dragon actually comes before Silence of the Lambs. So I went ahead and searched up which Barnes & Noble had it, went in there, picked it, left. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was definitely not what I expected to read, but it did give me, I guess, some insight on who Hannibal was and this whole mess he got going on. Because to have a serial killer help you solve some murders is wild, but it was done. In this one, Graham is actually getting help from Lecter, who he literally risked everything, and got very hurt capturing Lecter, and now he's back to have him help him solve the Tooth Fairy murders and find out who is behind all of this. So that is what we see here, and it does, I feel like it does help because you're using one serial killer to get in the mind of another. But with that, we had Dead Silence on the Lambs, right? We're not exactly following the same steps, but somewhat we are, because here we're searching for a Buffalo Bill. And who's going to help you get close to that? You got it, Lecter himself. So we see Clarice Starling, who is under basically this investigation, trying to figure out who this Buffalo Bill guy is. And with the help of Lecter, there's some progress being made, but everything costs something. And some mistakes were made and will continue to be made along the way. So take it as you will. At this point, we are now reaching a point where my slowing got really slow, and my husband decided, you know what, maybe try a different author, try a palette cleanser. And he told me about his favorite author, which I read The Crossing back when he had left for boot camp. So we went ahead and he got me the whole series of Hatchet. And knowing me, you know, I wasn't going to let this down, right? So I started with Hatchet, which is the first book in the series. I don't know if you can see the cover. Then there's The River, Brian's Winter, Brian's Return, and Brian's Hunt. Once I read these, I did leave little notes as I was reading, so yes. But as for favorites, I think I thought this was pretty good. Hatchet, I did think was pretty good, but I do feel like Brian's Winter was actually first for me. I liked this one better just because it is an alternative ending that I would have liked more than the original. And I'm pretty sure I wrote in here, I like this ending more. Yeah, I said I like this alternative ending more. So I wrote it in there for him. You can't see it, but it's a blue. So yes, as for the order that I think I like them in, it's going to be Brian's Winter, then it's going to be Hatchet, then it was Brian's Hunt, then The River, then Brian's Return. So I think that's my order for you. But it was a good palette cleanser, and I finished them in a weekend. By Sunday night, I was done. They're also really small, so take that in mind. Now, the next book that I read, The Wrath of the Fallen. And this is the fourth book in the Gods and Monsters series by Amber B. Nicole. So, this one's a big boy. Who would have thought that they're going to go through all this and you're going to be giggling of enjoyment, not of like it being silly or something, but of enjoyment of what's actually happening. But then Nismara, I cannot stand Nismara at all. Like, I cannot wait for her to just be over with. The fact that Hale and Diana have been affected about this throughout this journey and the process of their healing, honestly, their relationship takes a different like spin, and just like the heartbreak that occurs. Also, we see Diana more vulnerable in a way that we hadn't seen her before since her sister's death. It was just a lot. But also, we see how like she tries to be like the most stubborn person and also like stay intact when like her world is really falling apart. And Sankael trying to be like gentle and just understanding of what she's going through and what they're going through, and also trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do next, because it is some wild stuff. We also see Diana on more of a motherly instinct type of way for one of our characters. So we do see that. We see Cameron being like more of himself at some point, and we do see some characters come back that we did not know if they're gonna come back. And are they back for like good? We don't know. We still have more books to read, and the next one comes out like right around the corner. I cannot, like, I loved the way these cliffhangers are like twisting me and just like taking over, because you're gonna tell me that after all this that happened, where it ends. Oh my god. I need to know who's read it, because we need to talk. Like, how did you guys feel about the way this book ended? I think this was definitely like, it's up there for me. Like I said, I wasn't gonna give star ratings, so, but man, this was really good, and I really enjoyed this series. I think I'm having a blast with it, and there was a lot of action. There's a lot of spicy moments. There's new characters brought in. Some characters are moved out. Other characters are shining, and there's definitely some heartbreak happening on multiple relationships, not just between Sankael and Diana. So there is a lot going on in this series. I will be rereading it because I really enjoy myself with it, and all the different emotions that you feel throughout the book. Yeah. The last one on my list. Okay. I can officially say I have completed the Dance with My Demons series. Thank you. So, We're in Exile by Steph Maka. You can't tell me this was not a better ending. This could not have been a better ending. You can tell how excited I am because I went from like chill to getting overly excited because they were so good. These last two books, they did not disappoint. Also, the way it just wrapped it with a bow, I loved it. I really loved this series. I'm so glad I got introduced to this series and just the character development, even though like how much development could you do in a place like that? But there was development. And also this girl came out winning because she was able to get each one of them was able to provide her something that she lacked or was missing, while she was able to provide something back to them as well. And not only that, but how it ends and what does end up happening and the turn of events, they're wild. The turn of events are so wild. I really liked it. I was not expecting it, but I really did enjoy it. So I think this was worth the read. I really do think so. So, yeah. Other than that, the author says that the characters in the series do appear in some of her other books, like sprinkled through. So I'm thinking maybe check out her other books and see how they fall into each other so that we can see these characters in a different light or within the same light with other characters intertwined, really. So if you have read this one, let me know because I want to know. Like, I want to know. So yeah, that pretty much sums up all the books that I read for the month of August. I did not get to Phantasma or Enchantra, so those were books that were on my list but didn't make it the top cut. And honestly, I am pleased with the books read this month. I am not sure if I'm going to continue the Silence of the Lambs series with like the Lecter series, the Hannibal Lecter series, but I'll think about it. Honeysuckle, fantastic. Exile, series completed. Wrath of the Fallen, waiting for the next book. And then the Hatchet series, all read. So with that being said, there has been 2 series completed as of the month of August. And I actually think that this is the last year that I'm going to be doing advent calendar books, because there are other books that I want to read and sometimes they take priority over that, and like that I'm not feeling forced to read a book. So yeah, this will be it for this chapter of wrap up, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Alright guys, bye!